link, and I'm really hoping that you guys find me at this point. I hope that you've subscribed, that you know how to get to me. I'm just gonna get through these last two signs and post the whole thing with the timestamps and everything, because am getting really tired at this point. And that's the learning curve. I didn't know YouTube was gonna like kick me off after a certain amount of time. Like, I get it, it's been a while, but it's really only been 8, 9, 10, 11, like 4 hours. Okay, that is kind of long. But I wanted to do every sign. I really feel like every sign was really only about 15 to 20 minutes, which is typically what I would do anyway. So, you know, chill, YouTube. You don't get it. You don't get my process, okay? But I was in the middle of Aquarius. Sorry too. There was like 6 people in there. That's why I also killed my vibe, because I'm like, damn. I don't know how to get back to that live. I hope you guys know how to find this live. And I was in the middle of a sentence when it ended my video, so that's really obnoxious. I'm maybe gonna wait a second. Maybe I should just go post this link one more time. Okay, we're back. I don't know who liked this, but thank you. I don't know how I didn't see anyone in here, so I don't know if someone came in or what. But we're doing Aquarius, if you were not in the previous live. I'm just waiting a moment so everyone can get there. I'm annoyed that I have to keep doing this, but I'm going to learn the learning curve. I should probably sit and watch some videos about like how to properly conduct YouTube lives and everything you need to know, and read the fine print, because YouTube is I feel like YouTube's like so ancient, you know, like they really have like their policies in order. So let me make sure I know what I'm doing so I don't make them mad. But anyone, we'll just start and I'll post the recorded reading so you guys can have it, even if you missed out on this. Okay, Grasshopper. That's the card that you guys originally got, Aquarius, and this is going to be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node, by the way. So Grasshopper was your first card. It says situations in the balance that require careful handling. And then you had Heart that says love, deep affection, and caring. And I was saying that I was picking up on like this need for balancing your heart with your head. Like when I saw the balance and then the heart, and then also a need for like wisdom or experience with something, and specifically love. Yes, just made it. Yes, we're doing Aquarius. And so the only other sign that got a reading that felt heavily like romantic or centered around partnerships was Scorpio. So you could either be dealing with the Scorpio. If you have Scorpio placements, it would be even more of a confirmation that this is for you. But with Grasshopper, it really feels like time and wisdom and patience is going to help you to like understand something on a deeper level, especially as it pertains to your feelings or someone else's feelings and intimacy. So that's what I was saying right before I got cut off, I think. Love, deep affection, and caring. It feels like it's present, but that there is a blockage there. And so we're going to pull more cards to see what their blockage is and why there's a need to like balance head and heart. So it could be, you know, maybe you're too much in your head. Maybe there's a need to be a little bit more expressive. But with the careful handling, it feels like, yeah, that's what I'm sensing. So for some of you, Spirit's saying that like you're trying too hard to like be careful, that you're not expressing yourself enough, or you're not showing how you feel to someone and they're not getting it, or you're like sabotaging the situation because you're holding back too much, you know, or like trying to play it cool. It doesn't feel like that's your intention, and this could be the other person as well, so it's either you or vice versa, but it's like someone playing it too cool. It's not like they're trying to be cool. If anything, they feel the opposite of cool. They feel like nervous, and you know, like they could even feel overwhelmed by their feelings, but they're trying to, rather than come off too strong, be composed, and then it's making them seem like they lack emotion or passion. And so be careful of that, and there is a need to build intimacy by being a bit more vulnerable, even if you don't want to like come off as extra. There is a like fine balance that can be acquired there. So keep that in mind. Let's move on to the animal apothecary to understand what it is you are really needing to be careful about and balance, and how that's impacting your life and relationships right now. For Aquarius spirit, prayers answered. It's because you want something to work out. You are more. Yeah, I feel like you want something to work out, but you feel like you don't deserve it. You feel like you're not, like, you could feel like you're out of someone's league. You feel like they're not going to choose me. You feel like you're afraid. You could be highly afraid of rejection. You have abandonment wounds, but this is going to work out. You also have maybe in the past had a tendency to put so much, like, emphasis on other people, like, and their care for you. Because I'm thinking of a buffalo, and don't they have like water in them or something? Maybe that's just a camel. I don't know why I'm thinking of that analogy. There's something to do with water and buffaloes. But like I heard sustenance. And so it just made me think of like you turning to someone else for sustenance, or like with prayers answered, it's like you thinking that something or someone, like having someone, is going to make you whole, or it's going to make you feel better about yourself or something like that. But that's not the case. And so I feel like you do need to work on like self-love and like building your confidence in order to like have the kind of relationship, like healthy dynamic you want. Because otherwise I feel like it would just be like constant like overgiving, or it would be like codependency, or you constantly seeking like validation and reassurance and things like that. And that wouldn't be healthy either. It feels like there's a need for like interdependence and like liberation within a partnership, you know what I mean? And that's gonna come from getting on the same page about like love languages and how to communicate like reassurance when it's needed, but like not having to like overly communicate those kind of things. Yeah, it's like really someone trying, like, wanting love so much and wanting to connect with someone, but knowing they still have things to work on. And so being afraid of self-sabotaging by like trying to go too quickly or do too much too soon. And then it's like they sabotage because like you're burning the candle on both ends, or you're just expecting too much too soon, or you're dependent on this person because you're not fully secure within yourself. Like that's what this feels like. The love is there, the care is there. It's not like there's a lack of that. It's just a lack of self-love or a lack of grounding in your own purpose and your own path that's causing like imbalances in the connection, or constant like up and downs and ups and downs, like these extremes, you know? And so you have to recognize your own worth, and you have to like seek assurance like within, and not always like from another person or in people in general, you know, in your relationships. Oh, not this deck. We're doing the Modern Runes deck. And if I didn't show you the two cards, this is what they are. This eagle, I'm hearing like spreading, like you spread, like you might impact a lot of people. You might actually like be Aquarius. Yeah, you guys are leaders. Like I'm hearing like you influence a lot of people, or a lot of people look to you or look up to you. A lot of people could even be intimidated by you. So it's like interesting that I'm also picking up on at the same time, you, which I know this about Aquarius, is like you guys do tend, like you're opposite Leo. So you can have a tendency, and like, you know, the sun is debilitated in Aquarius, all these things. So you do have a tendency to kind of like seek validation and like want to get that verbal validation as an air sign, in order to like feed your ego. But you guys also know you're that girl and that you're the shit, and so it's like confusing sometimes. Like you guys can be so like egotistical and pretentious, but then also like insecure. And so I'm just like, huh? And that's no shade, that's just like my observation of some Aquarius placements. So you guys have to recognize like you actually like have a far reaching like influence on people, or you have the ability to, but you have to stop like seeking the validation in people and recognize like you will naturally receive it when you are like in alignment with your purpose, when you're showing up in service, when you're doing the things that you're called to do spiritually, you know. Your prayers will be answered, all the things you want, the relationship you want, all of that will work out once you start pouring into yourself, once you have that balance between, like with me saying head and heart. Yeah, it is logic and emotion. It is head and heart, but it's also like seeking that like connection and being independent. You know what I mean? And so yeah, independence is super important in order for you to then draw in the healthy partnerships that you deserve. Let's see. Modern runes. Yeah, you guys got the Issa card too. I can't think of the other sign that got it, but it's about stillness. It's about pause. It's about surrender, suspension, and it's Issa is like ice basically, so being like frozen in time. And so definitely about slowing down and like recognizing there's no need to rush something, that your prayers will be answered, that like also like it makes me think of love bombing or breadcrumbing, even where like I was saying, you don't want to like maybe you're trying to play it cool or hold back because you know that you're used to jumping in too quickly and love bombing or doing too much or saying too much too soon or making promises you can't keep, or you know, just committing too soon. Like it's not even like you're trying to intentionally hurt anybody, or vice versa. This could also be someone you're dealing with. This just feels like you're this ice card, this like frozen in time card, feels like you really are meant to like pause to think about what you want, what you need, take it slow, take your time so that you can like intentionally make choices and decisions without like, you know, making the wrong choice and then regretting it, or having to miss out on a connection because you sabotaged it or it ended prematurely. You know what I mean? So that feels important as well. If you're like, why hasn't this worked out for me yet or whatever, it's because it wouldn't work out. Even if it did work out for you, it wouldn't work out like you want it to because you're, you know, you're not quite ready for it. It's all about reaction. Like that's what I'm hearing. It's like it would be the reaction, the response to something, like a trigger or something. Like your reaction has a high tendency to like, you know, sabotage your connections. Okay. Anything else Aquarius needs to know? Yep. You need people though. You definitely need people. And so I feel like it's, again, finding the balance between depending on your own energy to get you where you need to go and other people's. Look at this card. It's like the whole roping, you know, they climb on the mountains with the ropes attached to the mountain, but like sometimes if it's like a risky one, the first person has to get up there and then the next person goes because one person has to go at a time. And so that's what it makes me think of, is like knowing when to depend on your own strength and your own like core and your stability to get you up there versus when to depend on the other person to help pull you up there. And so your relationships are only going to benefit from this interdependence. Like I said, learning how to rely on yourself, learning when to like turn to your own reserve to get what you need and not depend on other people, because there is an imbalance with that. And I think that once you open up, once you don't open up enough, that when you do open up, then it's like this wave of emotion, and then maybe you do become codependent on people, or maybe once you do finally let yourself get close to people, you get so attached to them because you don't allow yourself that luxury enough. You know what I mean? So this is literally about learning relationships for you. This is about learning balance between yourself and another person this Libra season, which is key Libra season theme. So let's pull Kipper deck to see what you need to hear or what else is impacting this situation before we go on and finish out with Pisces. That was so fast. A mature man. I think the first, Aries got this one. This feels like a father figure to you guys. I'm like immediately hearing like a father figure. I don't know why I just heard or a lack thereof. If you are a man, then it's definitely for you. Or identify as like a masculine person, this is definitely for you. But even if not, it could be like the absence, like it could be like your relationship with your mother, but your relationship with your mother was then impacted by the absence of your father or by the relationship that they had with your father. Definitely like inner child healing that needs to be done. This is a 5, so it makes me think of the 5th house energy, child childhood healing, but also pleasure. The 5th house is also about like dating and like the more like shallow forms of intimacy. So I feel like that's also something that you guys are going to be needing to work on, like developing. Like how people like, I don't like small talking, like learning to small talk, learning to like have relationships, like I said, learning to compromise, learning to wait, learning to bite your tongue, learning to not always say everything that's on your mind, learning to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about like love bombing and not like these like having these heightened waves of emotion and then them crashing out. It's also about like moderation in general, like not delegation, but like what is the word? Moderation would be the best word, but that's what I'm seeing for you guys. It's about balance in your relationships. And this mature man, I definitely am sensing someone at a distance or like not in your life or wasn't there to like teach you certain things. And then for some of you, this person could be like the person you want to be with. And if that's the case, then they are like, they could be older than you, they could be more established than you, they could be like more grounded or mature than you, and they could also like be at a distance, or they could, the whole reading, Aquarius, it feels like this absence of what you need is teaching you to go without what you think you need, and then you're going to realize you don't actually need it as much as you think you do. Like you're dependent on it right now, and once you go without it, you will break that dependency. You know what I mean? But this mature man could be a lot of things. He could be a father figure. He could be like a romantic partner. I just feel like you're seeking something from this person that they can't give you. Like they may have had a certain responsibility to give you certain things, like say your father, like they have a certain responsibility to raising you or whatever, but you wanted certain things from them that they couldn't give you. Or same with the romantic partner. And so it does feel like there's a need for you to, this reading, your reading is the most confusing one, Aquarius, I'm not gonna lie. Very confusing. Not like fully confusing, like I'm picking up on everything, but everyone's reading was like, oh, okay, full circle, and yours is like, what? It feels like a lot of different scenarios for you guys, but the man threw me off a little bit. What else is there for Aquarius? How can we understand how this man is impacting the situation for Aquarius this month in October, Spirit? Okay. Yeah, it's like a poverty mindset. Yeah, okay. You also have a tendency, like some of you have a tendency to like, so I was saying it could go both ways. So that's why I think I'm confusing myself, because some of you guys are the ones that are like more dependent on someone emotionally, and you need to become more self-sustained in your emotion or learn how to express your emotions without people having to pull them out of you, or you know what I mean? Like basically like baby you or coach you or coddle you. Whereas the other way I'm seeing it is like you guys need to like not do that with someone else. You know what I mean? And that like this could even be a grown-ass man. Like this could be your father or a man, and you're needing to recognize like he is supposed to be a grown-ass man. You should not be having to, you know what I mean? Like teach someone these things or remind someone of these things, because you have poverty and toil and labor. So like you're in a poverty mindset because you're holding on to this person or this thing or this situation or this relationship, and you're waiting and you're hoping that, you know, things will work out and everything will be balanced, and if I just give it time. And you know, for some of you, yeah, working on yourself and learning some life lessons and giving it time will benefit the connection. For others of you, you're only going to continue to stay stuck with that frozen card, frozen in time card. That means you're not going to ever move forward. You're going to stay constantly stuck and like stagnating with this person because they aren't able to truly support you because they're not pulling their weight or it's not reciprocal. So you would have to really decipher how that resonates for you. But this could also be a general message in your life. Like this, you need to recognize this when it comes to all of your relationships, because otherwise you're going to constantly be the one that's always giving and being breadcrumbed and love bombed, like I said. And that's what I think it's about, really, is like not allowing yourself to be love bombed by other people, not giving too much to people too soon before you recognize their intentions, not, you know what I mean, trying to build people up, recognizing they have to be self-sustainable and build themselves up. And you can be in their life and support them, but you can't be everything that they need, and no one can be everything that you need. And so you have to recognize that. Yeah. What a reading. Okay, that kind of hurt my head a little bit, not gonna lie. All right, Aquarius, that was for you guys. I am going to move on to Pisces now, and I am done. So let's do it before they fucking kick me out again. They're like, bitch, go to sleep. Why have you been on here for so long? But I'm like, you guys don't get it. All right. Whoop. We're going to start with tea leaf for Pisces. And then I am going to go smoke and sleep and eat some food. Let's see. Splitting it just to shuffle them. Oh. Pin, new job or career. That is for Pisces. I like that. Oh, oh. All right. Broken ring. It fell. Let me grab it. Let me also blow out this candle. It's like damn near completely burnt down. Broken ring. Parting of the ways in either romance or business. Okay, yeah, so you're getting a new job. So if you already have been feeling like, I'm gonna lose my job, I don't have a job, I lost my job already, I don't, you know, like I need money coming in, something like that. It could even be for some of you that you, like a relationship ended, and so say like you had like joint income or, you know, were sharing resources and now you have to do things alone. You could be like overwhelmed by that or a little bit scared or nervous, but you have a new job or career coming in and you're going to be fine. This pin also makes me think like you're going to be comfortable. So don't worry about that. It's giving princess, like you're going to be like living cushy, like you're going to have what you need. I'm hearing Better Off by Ariana Grande as well if you have just ended a relationship. News is on the way. Yeah, good news. So that's good. All right, we love that. Animal Apothecary for Pisces. Dang, y'all heard Pisces and straight up just dipped. That is hilarious. All right, Pisces. Get out of your head. Yeah. So you're just worried. I'm sensing that. Like, you're worried. You're, like, worried if you're going to be able to make ends meet or, like, bring everything together. You are. And with this new career, you could also be feeling, like, say if you don't have the resources you need or you don't feel supported and you're doing everything alone, you could feel like even if you were to get a new job or career, you're overwhelmed. Like, say you have kids, but you just got a new job or career, but you're also just going through a divorce or you just broke up with your partner or whatever. It's like, it could feel like a lot to handle all at once. And so you still are questioning whether or not you are capable of handling it. You are. You're going to be able to handle it, but you have to get out of your head and stop dwelling on everything that's everything that has surmounted and like, oh my gosh, this is so much, this is so overwhelming, am I going to be able to do it? And just be present and do it. You know what I mean? Like, act, move. Don't just get stuck in the responsibility and the weight of it all. Because you have shake, and that's funny because I said move, you know what I mean? Like, don't get stuck. And you have shake, release, heal, and move on. So this is literally saying exactly that. You have to, like, move forward, you know? I don't even know. I'd have to look into that, or maybe just, I feel like deers are cardinal energy. Like, I don't know if that's true or not, but with their horns and like just like the way that they move, I just think of them as like moving forward, you know what I mean? Like that they would represent, and probably true with the deer on this card specifically, but it makes me think of like a momentum kind of energy. Like if you were to see like a horse or something, you know, and you would think of that momentum. And so, yeah, it really does make me think of moving on from something and being okay with it. Like knowing that it was just like not becoming a deer in headlights, continuing to move forward. Like if you see how graceful deers look when they're just like galloping through a forest, it feels like there's a need for you to just keep your head high and just keep moving and not get stuck or not be afraid of anything that might um what's the word, like come up unexpectedly. Like it feels like you could be afraid of like, oh, what if this comes up, what if there's an emergency, will I be able to handle this, will I be able to schedule this, will I be able to show up, what if my kids need something, will I be able to show up at my new job, what if I can't get, you know, a ride, or what if I don't have my car, or, you know, like it's so many different scenarios that I'm thinking of for you guys, that it's like you are going to be able to be resourceful, and you've been resourceful in the past, and this isn't the first time that you've done things alone or had to be more self-reliant. So like you really gotta trust and believe in yourself. That's also what the horns on the, like you have this card, get out of your head. So that's what the horns make me think of on the deer. It's like about perception or your mind or your thought process, you know what I mean? Like you gotta get out of that mentality that's keeping you like feeling like you're always waiting for like the next bad thing to happen, which is understandable if you had significant trauma, but it feels like it's now you need to like target when, why those things come up, and start working through them, you know, because it's like self-sabotaging you. Pisces. Runes for Modern Life deck for Pisces. You guys also got this card. This also really feels like, I think it's just connected to Jupiter and Cancer. I don't really know what's going on with this energy, but multiple people got this card too. At this point, it was like 3 or 4 different groups. And so traveling, I kept saying like, that's why astrocartography has gotten so big, and it's almost like quantum leaping, and you can shift your whole nervous system, and you know, when you travel and you change your perspective and you learn these different things. And so that feels super important. Movement, like moving. It does feel like you might need to get out of the state you're in. Like I'm hearing state specifically, so not country, but state. I know that this is like international, but for you guys, that's Spirit literally was so clear about like it being a state and not necessarily, like I know there's different states, and like some countries have states, but like some other countries that aren't in America have states. But this feels like if you are based in the US while you're watching this, that it would be like you staying in the US, but you potentially moving out of the state that you're in. Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, my dad's playing music. It's so bad that like I try to tune it out, but it's just like foreign sounds when I'm in the middle of a quiet room, and I've been in a quiet room. It's like a distraction, especially when it's like Kendrick Lamar. What is that song? Man in a Garden. That's the song that's playing right now. So that also feels relevant for you guys. What does he say? Let me pull it up. Man in a Garden. I don't even know if that's the song, but that's what I just thought it was, and I channeled for you. Man at the Garden. Lyrics. I deserve it all. Yeah. That's the vibe. I was like, what is he saying in there? Because my intention was pure. I'm not reading all the lyrics, but I deserve it all. Keep my name by the world leaders. Keep my crowds Loud inside Ibiza, I deserve it all. More money, more power, more freedom. Everything heaven allowed is bitch, I deserve it all. And so, yeah, it's like about you recognizing this. It's about recognize, like, you, like, could be reflecting on, like, the weight of the world, the weight of a lot of things right now. You could feel very alone. Like, you could be like, is this life? You know what I mean? Like, are we all supposed to feel this alone? And so that's why I feel like traveling could be good for you, because where you are right now, I don't know if it is the most supportive, or if that's where your people are, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. You're going to have a new job or career, so I don't know if you're supposed to leave right away. It could be that there's like an offer, like maybe you get an opportunity to move with this job or this career, you know? Or the career comes with travel in itself. Maybe you would be traveling to another state where the headquarters are, or something like that. I could see that for you as well, Pisces. But the move on really does feel like you've been staying somewhere that's maybe not that great for you, that's been keeping you stagnant, that's been keeping you in your head, that's been making you doubt yourself and doubt whether or not you can do something without other people, and you can. And I think, like, actually, like, that exposure therapy, like, just doing it would actually, like, prove it to yourself, help you prove it to yourself. But you really just have to face the fear. It's really about just doing it. And then as you actively do it, you're going to be in the moment and be like, oh, wow, look at me figuring it out. You know what I mean? Okay. Anything else from this deck before I move on to Kipper and then we're done? For Pisces. Anything else for Pisces, since they did get a repeat card? Nope. Yeah, a lot of people are supposed to travel, expand their horizons, leave, like I was saying for the other group. Like, there's a lot of bird references, like with the bird flying, news on the way. The other group that got this card, they got this, like, bird in a nest, you know what I mean? And it was like a little baby bird in a nest by itself, and it was like waiting for nourishment or something. And so that is kind of the vibe. It's like you needing to take that leap of faith and trust that when you go out on a limb, you're going to find what you need. But you have to, like, be your own self-guide and not wait for other people to be like, this is where it is, you know what I mean? And so let's see here. You don't need other people, especially because that broken ring says parting of ways in romance or business. It could be that you thought, like, this was the end all be all for you, this job or this partnership or this marriage, or okay, now I'm like, my life is whole, my life is complete, I'm full. And then you were blindsided, or you were let down when you realized it wasn't going to work out. But it's like, it didn't work out because you put all of your chips in the basket, and you were so, like, you had blinders and you weren't focused on anything else, or you know, like, lacked balance because you had put so much weight and importance on that person alone, or that situation alone, or that job alone, where you stopped having faith that other things could work out, or that more than that thing was, you know, meant for you. And so that's why Spirit had to take the thing to remind you of your abundance, remind you of your resourcefulness, remind you of your ability to adapt. And so, let's see here. Last card for Pisces, if anything. Does Pisces need to hear anything else, Spirit? You got gift. Yeah, this is a gift. That's what I'm hearing. This redirection is a gift. This new job is a gift. These new challenges that are going to be coming into your way are a gift. The redirection, you being pulled away from people, things falling apart and ending, it is a gift, so that you can get a shift in perspective with this get out of your head. There's a target that you're meant to meet here. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be, like, aiming for something or learning something, or there's a specific objective Spirit wants you to be able to, like, reach. And right now you are still dwelling, you know what I mean? You're still dwelling, you're still not quite seeing what they want you to see in regards to, like, the value of this situation ending. But I do think in the next week or so, especially beyond the Aries full moon, with Neptune and Aries, Saturn, I think Neptune might have officially, I can't think of, no, it'll be next week as well, that I think Neptune goes back into Pisces on the 13th. So we'll have the full moon, and we have Neptune in Aries. And then, you know, I really think that that full moon is going to feel potent in regards to, like, making us realize where we have kind of our own mentalities, our own delusions, or the illusions, things that we've led ourselves to believe with Neptune, are leading us to like being held back or being lost in our life. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is going to be a gift. It's going to feel like bittersweet, and you could feel overwhelmed, and you could feel like nervous or scared, like, can I do this on my own? But it's a gift. It's giving you an opportunity to step into your power and let go of old identities and things like you believing you can't do it without another person, or that you always need help, or, you know, that you always need to ask someone. That's like another thing I'm hearing, like as a mutable sign, like even as a Gemini, like I know that I used to have a tendency to do this, and still sometimes do, where you'll ask like, what do you think about this? You don't care what that person thinks about it. You just want them to like validate you. You know what I mean? Because if they were to be like, I hate it, and you just put all that heart and passion and work into it, and you're looking at it like you hate it, unless you're fully like not secure in yourself, most people are going to be like, well, I love it, or no, they're wrong. Or if it's like, which outfit should I wear? And your friend tells you the one you know you don't want to wear, you're going to be like, never mind. You're not going to be like, oh, actually, you're right, unless you really just betray your own instincts. And so it's something that that's what you're learning, to not betray your own instincts, to trust in yourself, that you know yourself best, that you can do things without anybody else, and that you don't have to constantly like seek other people's reassurance, validation, or support. That honestly removing yourself from certain environments that are codependent is actually going to help you, or has already been helping you, even if it has been difficult. And that if you are looking for more support, it's not coming in the way that you think it's coming, like people giving you resources or money. It's people giving you opportunities. This gift is going to be an opportunity for you to step up and step even more into your own independence and power. So I'm going to leave it there, Pisces. I really hope this helped. I really hope that YouTube is able to let me post these. But otherwise, you know, if not, it is what it is. Talk to you guys later, and bye. Let's see.